Classic biology often teaches that wild animals such as the black bear must never be portrayed as having any human-like attributes. Attributes such as complex reasoning, emotions, or even love for offspring. Such apparent traits are easily dismissed through the simple concept of instinct. It is true, bears are not human, but humans might acquire subtle nuances of reasoning and tenderness from bears by spending time with them and observing their true nature. Perhaps it is time to reconsider that ancient proposition between man and bear. A bone-chilling growl and huge canines exposed and a saliva-dripping snarl. This is the manner in which the black bear has been historically portrayed through wild tales, taxidermists' mounts, and on the covers of magazines. Sensationalists have created a vicious animal hell-bent on devouring human flesh, a terrifying image that, even in today's society, many people still hold true. Although careful examination dispels these myths, the ferocious reputation of the black bear is difficult to overcome. Thus, it is not surprising that Vince Shute felt justified in shooting some of the bears, which occasionally broke into his cabin in search of food. Vince had moved to the remote north woods of Minnesota in 1942. For nearly a decade, he killed scores of bears, which he believed to be life-threatening. Yet, over time, Vince began to question his actions.
We all carried guns. We were afraid of the bears. And we'd shoot bears. We had no mercy at that time. And then I thought, those bears weren't mean. They were only hungry. So I thought I'd start feeding them. And I fed bears for 21 years before I had a break-in. And I got along fine.
And it worked. Vince never had to shoot another bear. Eventually, a special bond developed between this logger and the bears he once thought to be so menacing. Over the course of more than 45 years, what started as an act of survival slowly evolved into a labor of love for the bears he now affectionately regarded as his family. By 1993, Vince's family grew to include bears of all sizes and ages, from cubs to adults, most of which he knew by name. Although not dependent upon the supplemental food, many of the bears returned year after year. Some would only stay for a few weeks, while others would periodically visit throughout the active season. Gradually, word spread, and growing numbers of people began visiting the site to witness the amazing truce between this man and his bears. Vince welcomed the crowds because he wanted people to see for themselves the true nature of this incredible but often misunderstood animal. By dispelling the myths and misinformation, he felt it would help bears everywhere. Vince's place was to be an open-air classroom where people could come to learn the truth about bears, the vital role of habitat, and the value of all natural resources. At the age of 81, Vince's health began to decline. Soon a dark cloud loomed over this peaceful scenario. Serious rumors began to circulate that a few individuals planned to come and shoot as many of the bears as possible. Just as 50 years earlier, unfounded fear and a general lack of understanding resulted in the killing of bears at this site, Vince agonized over the fact that it could happen again. So in 1994, Vince approached friends who shared a common respect for the bears. A plan was finally devised, and on January 6, 1995, the American Bear Association, a Minnesota-based non-profit organization, was established as a means of managing and operating the Vince Shute Wildlife Sanctuary. 360 acres of land were acquired and now form the heart of the sanctuary. Over 20 square miles of undeveloped forest land bordered by the state of Minnesota, Net Lake Reservation, and 2 timber companies provide additional critical habitat surrounding this extraordinary Northwoods refuge. Admission to the sanctuary is free to all those who wish to come and learn. Modest funding is generated from the donations of visitors and those who share the vision of developing a one-of-a-kind learning facility. During the summer of 1996, the construction of an elevated viewing platform represented a major step forward in achieving the American Bear Association's educational mission. In addition, the association began working with Minnesota Department of Natural Resources in a mutual effort to rehabilitate orphaned cubs at the sanctuary. The sanctuary represents a wealth of biodiversity. White-barked aspens, dense cedar forests, and lush wetland marshes provide habitat for an assortment of birds and animals. Eagles, ospreys, wolves, and other wildlife, including the black bear, all benefit from the American Bear Association's efforts. In his simple and sincere way, Vince Shute reached out and touched the bears in a manner they were unaccustomed to. And the bears came to understand, and their offspring understood, generations of offspring. And other bears came to understand, bears which wandered into this strange refuge in times of need. Hungry bears, injured bears, frightened at first, then wary of the opportunity, the bears gradually accepted this loving truce between normal adversaries. And so did the man. Vince Shute developed this refuge on a solid foundation of love and respect. He is sharing this opportunity with others who respect the bears. There are those who believe bears must remain forever distant with their vicious reputation, that bears must always remain adversaries. Yet almost every person who visits the sanctuary to experience this warm association with the bears is deeply moved by the personal nature of their encounter. It is doubtful that there will ever be again such an opportunity to observe and learn from the bears. Before casting aside this opportunity, people must stop to consider the finality of doing nothing. Let us try to better comprehend what we are experiencing with these bears. Please help us accomplish our mission of promoting the welfare of the black bear through a better understanding. What began as one man's dream can become a reality with your help.